In the year 2069, humans have evolved into a race of monotonous, unimaginative dullards called the Farthammers. Daily life only brought work and sleep. Then, during the building of their 3,000th coffee shop, a discovery was made. The Farthammers discovered a time capsule buried in 2018. In it were various nickety-knacks from the decade 1980. Walkmans, VHS tapes, Rubik's Cubes, and on a video disc, a YouTube show about 3 people talking about the bygone time. The Farthammers found these 3 to be educators of a time that was glorious, a time that was fun, a time that was rad. They wanted to learn more about these 1980s. They wanted to learn what crept from the 80s.
Oh my god. Bro, I feel so fresh.
Whoa! Well, thank you! You guys!
Always pulling this type of stuff with us.
Oh, we got new digs!
Oh, I know, man.
Oh, these are the new sleep goggles.
Well, they're fresh and ill.
Wow!
Dope and rad.
Look at this! Oh, it makes my nips.
Oh,
Look at that.
oh, it's coming through.
Wow.
Coming through.
Oh,
The Overlord, Curator.
thank you.
You guys are the best with a capital PH.
Wait.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome to another lesson.
Yeah, I hope you're ready for this one.
We're going
This one
deep.
is going to edumacate and entertain.
Yes.
Huh?
Deep cut. Deep cut.
So, Mr. Tansky,
Yes.
what is our main theme going to be today? What is the theme of our lesson? The overall...
Well, the overlords gave us the special topic button,
Oh, the bouton.
and this is how we're going to find out what our topics are for future episodes.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Oh. Okay. All right. Huh. Interesting.
Crush groove. What do you think that means, Mr. Tansky?
Well, I was given in stasis sleep that this will be discussing our favorite crush from that era.
Oh my goodness.
They want to learn about what a crush is.
Yeah, you guys... Oh, yeah, you guys are sort of like...
They kind of just mate for population.
Yeah, they don't really like one another. but we gotta change that.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
Love one
to make
and
it
all.
fun,
Yes.
make it lovely, to make it passionate, magical, sensual.
That's the way the 80s were.
Light that fire. That's right.
Passion.
So the crush groove would be our 1980s crushes. Now these are celebrity 80s crushes.
I guess if you want to jump out of the box, jump out of the box.
I might lay off some truth bombs and some fart bombs as well.
Oh, well, they're not
Among
alive,
those-
so it don't matter. So.
That's right. I think I'll do a little mix of both.
Oh.
But so what do you want to do? What do you got some? You got some on deck, on tap, on tip?
Well, I'm gonna jump right into it, and it's pretty obvious. If you were a kid of the '80s, you had a crush on the one Princess Leia, played by the R.I.P. Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
She made me hate Paul Simon because back then they got married, and I was devastated. Devastated.
Yeah.
I mean, who can forget the feministic apparel of the slave Leia costume?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean,
But she held her own in that.
that's right.
Yes.
Many a twig was sprung.
Mini twig and berries.
That's right. Yeah, she was. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I mean, she strong. She was a princess. She didn't take no shit.
No, she didn't.
And
No guff.
Yeah.
She was sassy.
Before that was a thing.
That's
If you
right.
think about it. There wasn't many strong characters in movies back then. It started to progress as time went by.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you had.
You
I mean, it really was Princess Leia,
Yeah.
and then like Ripley,
Yeah.
and then it
Terminator.
snowballed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. No, yeah, Carrie Fisher. Yeah.
She's a pioneer.
She was the pioneer.
To
I
my
got to
heart.
meet. I got to meet her.
That's wonderful. She was at a convention I was at, and I passed up the chance. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you don't know.
We met her at a Star Wars celebration in Anaheim in 2015.
Wow, that's not that. Well, it is far away.
And
now.
she was magical, and it was during my honeymoon, and she threw like pixie dust
That was
all
her.
over us.
That was her thing. If you tried to sneak a photograph of her at this convention, she would just.
Yeah, and I was like, and I go, I'll make sure to scream your name when we're in the heat of passion tonight.
And she's the type of.
Yeah, I mean,
she's the type of broad.
She totally
and
went with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I knew I could get away with that.
Yeah.
With her, so that's good. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I've got quite a list of my crushes. I mean, if you want, was that your only one, or
That was my only one.
Oh,
I have plenty
okay.
for future segments, but I feel like you have a laundry list for future segments as well. So even if you rattled off a bunch here, you're well prepared.
Listen, I mean, I can. Man, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll just pick one out of the list. I had a thing for Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, my God. Still do.
She's attractive, yes, but there was more to.
Now we're talking Labyrinth.
I thought she
Creepers?
was really
Career opportunities.
cute and pretty in Labyrinth. You know, obviously that's the first thing I ever saw her in. Obsessed with Jim Henson, obsessed with the Muppets, obsessed with those movies.
David Bowie's crotch.
Oh yes, I was obsessed with his pajage, as the Mexicans call it. But it wasn't. I guess the real, as far as her goes, it wasn't the 80s. It was 1990. It was Career Opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Frank Whaley.
And that.
Yeah.
That I was 13 and the children were bubbling down there, if you will, and
That's nasty.
She, the body, the curves,
The tank top.
oh, the chest jowls. I mean, it was just
That's a new one.
packing some teat, if you will. So that whole package, that whole Jennifer Connelly thing was. Yeah.
Full swing.
Yeah, and that took a while for me to sort of. It wasn't until she got all Hollywood, and then they made her get 98 pounds, and yeah, then it kind of waned for me on her. But she had the Rocketeer where she looked good golly. There was a good 3 years there where she was just.
Hot spot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But that was even before. Career Opportunities and Jimmy Van Brunt's Wild Ride. But so yeah, I could say some more, but I'll just stick to Jennifer Connelly as one of them. I'm sure we'll talk about 80s crushes down the road, huh?
Always.
But folks out there. This is also a lesson for you. Go, plug in,
Look these people up.
and look up these people. Look up the great Carrie Fisher. Look up the great Jennifer Connelly.
What defines a crush, do you think? At that age, we're coming to our own. I I was like 6 or 7 when the Carrie Fisher thing hit.
Yeah, I mean the crush. I mean I don't know. It's just seeing a.
It's fascinating if you break it down on a just levels.
Yeah.
How we come to be into these celebrities, and still today.
I mean, I would assume it's.
I mean, it's hormonal, obviously.
How they are,
it's science.
the type, what they're portraying, the attitude they have, the personality that is coming off the screen. It's I think it's a little combination of everything that just kind of gets your juices flowing, and
because we don't get it at that point in our lives, so it's just funny how the progression of one's.
Yeah, and I definitely was I had a very early sensual awakening.
We could save that for another.
So, I was doing stuff that I have relatives and friends that didn't do until they were 18.
Oh.
So,
little biology lesson here, folks.
yeah. So I mean, hey, truth bombs, truth nuggets.
This is a safe zone.
I was a little prevert.
Yeah. I will sadly admit the old. I was a pervert. Wow, this is looking up the skirts of a mannequin. That's not normal, is it?
For boys? Yeah, it is. Are you kidding?
I didn't pursue it to the human aspect of life.
Of course. Like, everybody did that. My mom tells a story that when I was 4 years old, we were walking down Main Street in Wellsville, New York, where I grew up in. And there's this woman coming towards us, and she's apparently got double D's.
Yeah.
Just bouncing hither and dither. And I say out loud, "Holy Mom, look at those boobies!" Like really loud. The woman heard it. My mom starts laughing.
She laughed, so that's awesome.
Yeah. The woman is laughing.
Okay, good.
But I've heard that story over and over and over again. I have been obsessed with large natural breasts pretty much since I was a child. So that's just stuck with me forever, folks. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, crushes, I mean, I look at my son, and my son started having crushes, celebrity crushes, probably when he was like 6 years old.
Okay.
And I still rib him about it to this day, but he loves Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, nice.
Like, he is all about her. And, I think he gets a little rosy-cheeked anytime she comes on screen. And in his dreams.
Give it down now.
But, yeah, so crushes, man. Crazy, wild things.
So in the gift shop, folks, for the It Crept from the 80's section, expect to see a "Look at Those Boobies" t-shirt.
I hope so. I'll rock that. Yeah, speaking of that stuff, you can go to tpublic.com
Still around.
/ low budget pictures, and you'll find a bunch of our stuff there, and we're gonna just keep adding stuff. So do it, folks. But yeah, so oh man, they're shoving it down our throat already.
You know what that means?
Libation break, bros. We gotta get some tasty drink going down our gullet.
They set up these. We've got lunch boxes.
Yeah.
Get a little parched. Let's see what I got. Oh my God, Capri Sun. What'd you get? Oh.
Same old. Yes, I love it, but I don't have to have it every single time, guys. Ecto Cooler. It's great. How come? Let's trade.
Okay.
You have an Ecto Cooler. I'll take the Capri Sun.
We got some commercials for you.
Okay.
Take it easy on that slate board, Freddy. Be careful.
You too, Dad. Don't forget to sing a song of seatbelt safety.
Huh? Oh, yeah. The seat belt connected to the frame zone. The lap strap goes across the hip bone. The shoulder strap angles or the chest bone.
So hear the words of the law.
Those belts, those bones, those seat belts.
For safety's sake, wear seatbelts.
I'll properly wear seat belts and heed the words of the law.
Sometimes kids have to remind grown-ups, yabba dabba buckle up.
more of the real Ghostbusters coming up.
Are we having fun yet?
The real Ghostbusters next.
We've been expecting you.
Presenting the Flying McNuggets. The McDonald's Chicken McNuggets. The barbecue sauce. The action.
My mother always told me I'd go far.
This is a hot act.
It's a good time for the great taste.
You guys always make dipping such a big production.
Hershey, Hershey, Hershey. It's a fun one. Hershey, Hershey, Hershey. Ooh, chocolate fun. Pure milk chocolate. Delicious and smooth. Oh, if you don't believe me, I'll prove it to you. When you take a bite, oh, you'll say I'm right. Hershey, Hershey, Hershey. It's a fun one. Oh, Hershey, Hershey, Hershey. Ooh, chocolate fun.
That was worth it. Let it up. Let it up.
Fruit Punch Capri Sun. Brings back memories. I hope you folks like those commercials. Got some education out of those commercials. You could see just how fun the 1980s were through those commercials.
They're learning.
Those are the things we had, folks. That's the things we got to enjoy when we were chitlins.
And that brings us to today's main topic. Everybody got out your space pencils.
Those laser pens.
All right, let's see what we're talking about today. Oh, okay. All right. This is different. School.
Yeah, school days. This is really going to bring us down
They
a
don't go.
dark, deep path.
They don't go to school.
This is their school. We're their teachers.
It wasn't like this.
How great. I would love it if we had this. If this was a curriculum.
I would have
Learning the 1980s.
excelled.
But I mean, we were living in it.
Right. There wouldn't be. The books would have been paper thin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so many facets that we could discuss.
School days.
I mean,
Well, just in general, how was your... Leading up to high school,
yes.
how was your school life? What was it like? You know, because you hear so many horror stories from other... from lots of people.
Right.
That
How bad it was.
school wasn't that great,
Yeah.
and that's talking middle school, that's talking junior high, all that stuff. It's like, and then in addition to people had terrible times in high school, so
It's just a vicious circle.
yeah, I'm interested to hear what.
I feel like from 1st to 6th, I did okay. I was what you would call a class clown. Shocking, I know. But I was like that happy medium where I could go from being a class... I think the happy medium was the class clown, but then you could slightly be popular, and then slightly be a pariah in some regard, where you get made fun of excessively. So I was that right in between where it could just waver back and forth. So I have a lot of great memories, but then there was definitely, like any classic, upbringing, you have your moments where you got picked on. I mean, bullying, it's just always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it may be a little bit more excessive today with in 2018 with the online bullying, which is a whole new level. But it still happened back then, and I got those nicknames. Like my last name's Tansky, so they would find ways to work that. Pansy was one, which obviously today I think that's dumb. I should have just brushed that one off, but it hit you.
A lot of it is dumb. I mean,
well, yeah, but they say it so much where it just gets drilled into your brain, where you're just like, oh my god, okay, I get it, kind of thing.
Yeah, mine was pretty good. Again, it's the same
Did you
thing.
get Chris Piss? I got.
No,
Oh.
I got Seaver the Beaver, and it's like
That rhymes.
it's just like okay. Or what I got a lot was your dad, he's a psychiatrist.
That's a cool ride.
How's your best friend Boner? You know, like, I always...
He is fine.
It just... The Seavers, the Seaver family, Growing Pains, it was, like, constant. That was the constant for me. And I was just like,
I wish
guys,
people...
this is a fantastic show. I don't know what,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like...
I wish more people knew that Mad Max's last name in Road Warrior was Rockatansky. Maybe they could have called me Mad Max.
But yeah, I too was a class clown. Man.
To the detriment.
Most of the teachers hated me.
Yeah.
There were like 2 teachers that actually thought I was, you know,
A problem.
I would amount to something, but the rest...
Oh, that's good.
The rest were like, you ain't amounting to nothing, you know?
Do you remember that teacher's name?
No, I don't remember. Unfortunately, I don't remember most. Oh, the art teacher, it was art and English that loved me.
Okay.
And that was even going into high school. That was the only teachers that liked me in high school as well. But Mrs. Aberjelly was our art teacher.
That's
and
an
she
80's movie.
Adored me, and I adored her. And to this day, if I make it back to Wellsville, I try to go. She's still teaching.
Oh, wow.
And I try to go back and visit her. And she like,
that's cool.
She opens her arms. She's like, ah, you know, and she just.
What a great last name.
Aberjelly. Yeah, Mrs. A. We called her Mrs. A.
Please tell me you've used that in a movie.
No, but I should. Thank you.
Yeah. Miss. I don't know if it's Miss or Mrs., but we'll say Mrs. Mrs. Dundas hated me, and I hated her.
I had some hate for sure.
2nd grade. Man. But her, like, she had, like, the helper, the aide. She liked me. She always made me sit next to her.
I definitely remember a lot of teachers who hated me yelling at me, and they would get in my face and they'd have, like, the worst breath. That always, like, sticks
Well, that's
with
a
me.
prerequisite. Like, before
Terrible,
you get hired
like,
at school,
coffee breath.
you have to...
Yeah, I mean, it was just, oof.
Well, that's not strong enough. Move along.
And I had a couple teachers who would, like, pull my hair.
Oh, this is a different era.
Yeah, I mean, you just did whatever, man. But for the most part, I had it pretty good. Like, I had friends, I had a fun time. I certainly
there weren't really cliques back then. I mean,
I was.
There was obviously the popular, but I like cliques today that you would see. But I feel like everybody was on almost the same plane, at least in my first through 6th grade.
If you're a class clown, you can make the popular kids laugh.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I went with the happy medium.
Yeah,
you can go. You swing both ways.
Yeah, I would have people who wanted to beat the shit out of me at the end of the day laughing, and then they never beat the shit out of me. You know what I mean?
I think I got into one fight.
Oh, I never did, but I was fearful that I was going to, because I'd always get, after school, you're dead, Seaver, you know? And then after school...
Meet by the bike rack!
And what I would do is, this was the only way that I would combat that situation, was I made fun of that situation. So when they would corner me, and it was always like this group, you know, and I can remember what they looked like, but I can't remember their names. That's good, you know, because they were relatively nothing in the end.
Pish posh.
But there were 3 of them, and when you think back and you think about these kids, you're just like, these were my bullies, you know, like these are fucking, I mean, blip. I'll cut that out. These are ridiculous turd bottoms, and they just. No reason to be scared of these people whatsoever. But I would start to like do ridiculous kung fu and that type of stuff, and just like wave around and pretend that I knew that stuff, and like what's up? I'd do all that, and I'd get them laughing.
Okay.
So at the end of it, they never. It was just like, and they just like ended up going. You know what I mean? It was just like whatever. So that's how I got out of those things. I mean, people definitely hated me, but they laughed, and I was able to use that stupidity to get out of all these situations.
How I dealt with aggression is I created a imaginary wrestling league, and I would wrestle my pillow. I kept, and I still have these today, if you want to ever see them. But I have notebook upon notebook of actual cards, wrestling cards, and I would set up the matches. They would have, storylines. I would sometimes use the figures that I owned, but I would wrestle in my room with a pillow. The many beds that were broken from me leaping from dressers, dropping an elbow on said pillow. I was obviously the Hulk Hogan of this federation and would constantly win the championship after being beaten up by the main heel, which would usually be the bully in school. And I would use real names at first, but then I got a little more advanced where I would come up with the gimmicks for some of the wrestlers.
Yeah. Well, my thing was definitely I was making videos at a very early age, so I was always shooting.
Nice.
I would take the camera into school, get in trouble for using it.
You would bring it to school.
Oh, heck yeah, man! Because I wanted to be like, I'm gonna make a movie at recess. We're going out and we're gonna do this stuff. So I would shoot things like that. Us like doing scenarios from films. We'd use the playground as like spaceships or whatever, have you, and we'd like do these things, or we would do. I'd shoot my friends playing with action figures, and we would play with Star Wars or He-Man or G.I. Joe, Transformers, whatever, Mask, whatever, anything, because we would. Our teachers, I don't know if it was like that with your teachers, but we were always kind of allowed to bring like a few toys from school.
I mean, we would have show and tell.
Oh, we had that, yeah, but like they would always be like, if you want to bring a toy for recess, let your parents know that you can bring like a couple of toys,
Oh, for recess. Oh, cool.
So we would do that. So we did a lot of that. Certainly around 85, 86, we did a lot of Garbage Pail Kid trading.
Oh, yeah.
So not just we would do it at lunch and at recess.
You had to be secretive because some teachers weren't.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like I've had so many things taken away from them.
In fact.
Yeah.
Be a stash somewhere in a school.
I remember in probably 6th grade, 6th or 7th grade, maybe 6th, I don't know. I had a fart machine. And I would take it all around, and you could just place it under people's seats and then have a remote control.
Wow, even back then?
Oh, yeah, yep. And
things don't change.
For the longest time, I got away with it until a math class, and finally the teacher is looking straight at me.
Because you were probably doing that.
Well, I mean, everyone was laughing, but I think he just knew my shenanigans. And
Seaver shenanigans.
Yeah, he was just like,
as it was called.
He didn't even talk to anybody else. He was just like, Mr. Seaver, can I have your device? I'm like, what are you talking about? It wasn't me. And then
Mr. Abernathy.
He's like, grab it. He's like, get it. And it was under this kid, Fred. I always put it under this dude, Fred Perry, his chair.
Farting Fred Perry, as they called him.
He was a gomer. So it was always like, if anyone's going to be farting in class, it's going to be Fred
Perry.
Who later ended up helping murder someone and went to jail.
All because of this fart prank.
So they took it from me, and I never got it back.
Oh.
Ever. Even through high school.
I don't know what that sound was.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Yeah, I used my... I was the short story writer because of my love of movies. Obviously, I parlayed that into writing many short stories.
Well, that's why the English teacher liked me. Because I gave a crap.
Okay, yeah.
Like I was like...
I think I had that too.
Always writing stories, always like, this is going to be my script today, and it would be the most vile and disgusting thing it could be for that age at that point. And I have them.
They weren't concerned.
I've kept them.
Yeah, I have mine too.
No.
I basically would just steal from, like, instead of the Goonies, it was the Adventurers.
The Goober Patrol.
Instead of the Dream Warriors, it was like the Dream Chasers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did stuff like that for sure. Created my own, like, versions of movies and stuff like that. But yeah, like the teachers would write on the papers like, this disturbs me. Or you have a very overactive imagination, things like that. But I would always do good because it was creative. It was, at least I was doing it, you know.
Were you allowed to read, like, me and a buddy, Rob Carney, if you're watching, what? I'll send it to you. We created our own Return of the Living Dead franchise. So we would write and draw pictures, and the teacher would allow us to read. I still have those as well. I keep everything from.
Yeah.
And we were allowed to read those in front of the class. But we would put in, like, fantasy, like, if there was a particular girl I liked, she was my love interest in the story. And vice versa with my buddy Rob. We wrote like 3 or 4 of those.
I wouldn't have been able to read what I was writing.
A lot of insertion stuff in here, Mr. Seaver.
But what I did do, any chance I could, I would try to get away with doing a video version of what they wanted me to do.
Okay.
So if there was a particular topic they wanted us to do a report on or whatever, I would say, hey, can I do like a short...
So you were Adam Goldberg, pretty much.
In a way, yeah. And that stuff, again, just like him, man, I have so much stuff from when I was young. I just never got rid of it. I have scripts, I have papers, I have video.
Yeah, same.
Tons of VHS stuff from back in the day of just the stupidest stuff. But it's so fun. And maybe one day, you know, you guys will see these clips.
Me and the neighborhood kids, we made a movie called Playthings. And that was about toys coming to life. No, it wasn't dirty. It was about toys that came to life and started killing people in the neighborhood.
I think you need to sue Charles Band.
It was before, yeah.
That's how he got his fetish.
Damn it.
For little creatures. From the Tansky archives.
Yeah. Now available in the Crept from the 80's.
So, let's talk about lunches.
Oh.
You know, because that was
that was a ritual. I mean, before the school year started, you had to buy supplies and clothes.
Yeah.
And I loved buying those things. I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to buy clothes. I loved getting new wardrobe for school. I mean, you ran out of the new stuff by week 1.
Yeah,
so,
I liked it too. In fact,
going to JCPenney's.
I've always been a shopper. Like, where you think, like, stereotypically, women are always the people who, I love shopping. Well, you know what I mean. They love to go shopping.
Right. That's the old adage. Women need shopping.
I've always loved shopping. I love going to the store. I like the grocery store. I like going to Walmart. I like going to Target. I like going to the mall. Like any of that stuff. I've always enjoyed it.
I just don't like spending money.
Well, if you don't have it, I don't like spending money.
How much for these jeans?
Well, I guess in a way I am like that because
sale.
My wife is like,
just
whatever,
get
it. Yeah. I'm like, have you seen these prices? I ain't paying $25 for a pair of jeans. I'm like, where's my $15 jeans? Yeah. You know, like that's how I am, I guess. But I still love. But
then it wasn't our money, so
yeah.
Have at it.
The only thing I didn't like was sometimes, you know, the adult wants to dress you.
Oh.
And if I'm saying, I want this, they're going, yeah, but you know, you'll look better in this. So for a while, I was always wearing like whatever my great aunt wanted me to wear because I lived with my great aunt.
She knitted.
And my great grandparents. So it was like khakis and nice button-up shirts and things like that. I was just like, no, man, I'm a kid, you know, like. I
want sneakers with zippers.
Yeah, well, I definitely
put
had
my money.
that stuff. I definitely had
pennies.
those things.
Yeah.
But it was just like if they were buying it, then this is the stuff they were going to get. And these were like, well, these are your like weekend clothes. You don't want to wear this stuff to school, but I did anyway. I would pack like my He-Man or Voltron shirts in my backpack, and then I'd change when I got there.
See, my mom would make me wear a snowsuit, and I would get halfway down the street, just take it off and put it in my bag because I'm not wearing a snowsuit
That's something.
to school.
Like walking to school.
Oh my God, I wouldn't dare let my children nowadays.
No,
I would walk by myself.
Oh yeah, like we
4th, 5th, 6th grade, I would walk to school.
Yeah, man. All through that, through elementary school, I walked to school. 6 years old, I was walking to school. Yeah, like because it was right up the road and then down the road, and all the neighborhood kids all went together.
Right, that's true. Yeah, I would meet up with some.
So all my like friends around the neighborhood, we just got hooked up in front of my. It was always go out in front of the mailbox, Chris, and that's where we'd meet, and then we'd go. And I walked to school through high school and everything, because the high school was.
I would take a bus and then
separate. Oh, I never.
Then not a bus like a school bus, but I would get like the city bus,
the short bus,
or eventually the next door neighbor, their kids started going to the same high school, so I would just pile in with them.
Need a lift.
Drop me off right here.
But so the school lunches, like
well, the lunchbox was a sign of
it's
cool.
And it's funny, like because for me, I always got a lunchbox every year.
Yes.
We
Never
didn't keep the same lunchbox. It was like, well, new school year, new lunchbox.
And who knew that those lunchboxes, if you had kept them, they would be worth.
Oh, I know. I mean,
a ton of overpriced money.
These are actually two that I did own back in the day,
and curator was happy to obtain. Thank you.
But getting these again, like. My wife ended up getting this for me, but I had this, and back then, when we were, when our parents were buying this stuff, it was like, $3, $4. This probably cost my wife like 45, 50 bucks to get. This, on the other hand, I was lucky enough. This was one of the ones that I did have, and I was so afraid to try to re-get this.
Because they do not hold up.
Well, and it's ridiculous to pay that much money
$100
for a frigging lunchbox.
Right.
But I paid $5.
What?
$5 at a flea market.
Oh, that's awesome.
In
and it looks
Long
in great
Island.
Shape.
Yeah.
It's in great shape.
I know.
That's the thing, when you get these now, you open it up and it's just like a freaking nuclear bomb went off in them.
Yeah, and for the most part, they don't, you don't come with the thermoses. And if you do get the thermos, they jack up the price even more.
Those are hard to come by.
But that whole experience.
Oh, yeah.
Taking your lunch to school, opening it up. Like for me, I drank a lot of chocolate milk growing up. So my thermos was filled with chocolate milk.
That's awesome.
And I can still...
How was it kept cold? Did you have...
It? Well, because my grandma would put... She would, there'd be say there'd be cold carrots in a thing.
Put it right next to it.
But it was it was the thermos. It never really got too bad at all.
You didn't get the squirts.
No. Peanut butter and jelly. And, little bags of
Never put soda.
Cheetos. Oh,
don't put soda in the thermos. No, that ruins the lunchbox.
Yeah. But I mean...
Yeah, every year, whatever was popular. Return of the Jedi, Temple of Doom, Gremlins.
Yeah, I had all of those. I wish I still had them, man.
And everything had a lunchbox. There was Welcome Back Cotter.
Oh, yeah.
Just Happy Days.
Elf.
Yes.
But no Mr. Belvedere.
No.
What's up with that?
What's wrong with you people? But no, what worries me is why did they go away from this? Was it cost? Or were they slowly poisoning us?
I don't know.
Because we're still alive today, but they went from the metal to this. I'm sure it had to do with cost of making these.
I don't know. And honestly, if you look at kids today, and certainly in 2069, the use of the lunchbox isn't prevalent.
No.
Which is sad.
My daughter has the zip, the zip
kind
of.
Yeah. And that's what we did with River.
Yeah.
you know.
Brown bag.
He would just have the zipper thing.
Or the Velcro.
And he would have...
That looked like a lunch bag.
But it was always themed, so it was either Star Wars or Transformers for River, because that's... I mean, he was obsessed with those two.
Yeah, we would... Shopkins. Dora the Explorer, I want to say.
But, let's see, what else was prevalent?
Well, the supplies. School supplies.
Oh, yeah, Trapper Keepers.
Oh, my God.
So many rad different Trapper Keepers. And this... I keep telling people this, and I don't know if it was like my imagination. I swore that I had a Garbage Pail Kids Trapper Keeper. I know I had folders. Because the folders were awesome. Yeah. And these were the folders, folks.
How did they get that?
These were the Garbage Pail Kids school folders that you got back in the day.
I have it was like the baseball card just blown up into folder form.
Yeah. And I swear, and I've told people this, and they've been like, I don't know if they made those, but I swear I had a Garbage Pail Kids Trapper Keeper.
Why aren't those... Well, I think they are kind of bad.
They still, yeah, they kind of...
Nothing licensed.
The Trapper Keeper, like, changed and morphed into something different.
Yeah.
But it was so cool and different, and you could get, like, weird, rad 80's designs. I mean, back then, that's just what it was.
Yeah. They were just designs.
Yeah, or you could get, like, you know, Corvette with a
tiger driving,
Miami sun in the background. You rip it open with the Velcro.
Yeah, it wasn't quiet. You couldn't.
But that was awesome.
I would always get pencil cases, even though I didn't get many pencils. But it was always the Return of the Jedi pencil case.
Yeah.
And it came with the Return of the Jedi pencil, and then the eraser would look like an Ewok or Chewbacca's head, or
all that stuff was awesome.
I bought into that stuff way early, just merchandise.
Yeah, and it was cool. I mean, that's what we all wanted.
Yeah.
You know? I think for certainly my family, it was like, well, whatever. I mean, if it helps them
go to school.
Yeah, if it helps them get education, who cares what's on it? You know, like if he wants it, get it. So yeah, it was a lot of themed, but that's what was great.
And it was whatever movie we had just seen that summer.
I mean, merchandising. Everything was movies, merchandising, movies, merchandising, TV, cartoon, all that stuff. It was, magic. So awesome. So awesome.
What happened?
I don't even... Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah,
to relive.
So you can bring it back.
And for you to live it. And this is a way for us to relive it as well.
Are you still friends with anybody from that era? Did you keep those?
You know,
7th and 8th grade, I still have friends, close friends that I still hang out with and see and talk to today. I'm trying to think from 1st to 6th if there's anybody. I mean, Facebook has allowed you to reconnect with a lot of...
I mean, yeah, okay. Like my neighbors. I've talked about it before, but I grew up... I mean, there were so many neighborhood kids around me, and my best friends were girls, and I still talk to those guys. I mean... We haven't really seen each other. Actually, like 2 years ago was the first time I had seen a couple of them in probably 25 years, maybe even before that. Insane. And it was awesome. And it was just like, honestly, it was like no time had passed.
Yes.
And then one of my biggest... real life crushes growing up, and we actually went out. I mean, I had girlfriends every weekend growing up. That's just how it was with me, and how it was in school, at least, or in the 80's. I mean, everyone had you were going out with somebody, every weekend, and then it would, well, you know what, you're not my boyfriend anymore, or whatever, and we would just get...
Did you spit in their face like I did?
No.
No?
No.
I hang on to these memories. Yeah, my first girlfriend, 3rd grade, friends with her on Facebook. Rhea Titus was her name.
Does she still bring it up?
No, she probably doesn't even remember it, but this is a memory that's just lodged there forever. I think I got jealous over an ex-boyfriend in 3rd grade. And like, I just treated her like shit, and then I just fed up, and I walked up to her, and I just hocked the biggest loogie into her hair.
That's rough.
That was the end of that.
You couldn't do that now.
No.
You shouldn't have did it then, but...
She cried over it.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then I tried to make up for it. We used to do this thing where, at the end of the day, for people to get in line to leave, we would... It's kind of creepy if you think about it, but we would write names on the back of the teacher of the people you want to go first. Like if it was... Like they would pick a name, like the Apple of the Day kid. Huh. And if you got to be the Apple of the Day kid, you got to select things to happen within the class. And I did her name first. And I was like, see, I still like her. Like, but there was no coming back for that. Luckily, we smoothed things out as the year progressed and remained just friends. But I still carried a torch, as the kids say, for her all those years.
Well, so there's this crush I had, and I actually went out with her a couple times, but I was friends with her family. So her name was Jennifer Sarah. And so I would see this family all the time. I mean, a lot of my adolescent memories are from the Sarahs. Like, so many nights of just watching tons and tons of awesome movies with this family. Their brother, Doug, was like a horror fan, so his room was like covered in this stuff, and I always wanted to steal everything from his room because it was awesome. And then eventually my room was cooler than his because I did it too. But
was he an influence at all in your...
Doug? No, Doug was actually, he was kind of a turd bucket. He was one of those, I'm a bully and you're an idiot, Chris Seaver, but I would always be at his house.
Wayne from Wonder.
And then I think about him and I'm like, dude, this is hilarious. I have this image of, this is a tangent, but I have this one image of Doug saying he was going to kick my butt from across this, we had a creek. And he was this skinny, like, and everything was like jean. So he had a jean jacket, jeans, a jean-colored shirt, cowlick in his hair. But I remember him coming at me, and he was walking like this skinny little jean-jacketed kid coming at me. And for some reason, I was just like, this is my bully, he's gonna get me, But it was like nothing. I mean, he didn't do anything. It was always like verbal.
Yeah.
He's like, I see you at my house this weekend, you're toast, or whatever. And I'd always be at his house, and nothing would ever happen, And he was probably only like 2 years older than me, But anyway, so the Sarahs. So Jennifer Sarah, she was my Winnie Cooper.
Oh.
I guess she looked like Winnie Cooper.
Rhea was my Winnie Cooper.
She had very long, straight, brunette hair. Always wore the headband in it. Pale skin. Lanky. She was just the bee's knees. And probably about 6 years ago, we found out that she lived in Rochester.
Oh, wow.
Or was close,
yeah.
Like 20 minutes away. And she came and visited me one night.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I had a girlfriend at the time. This was like between my divorce and my new wife. I had like a date. I was dating, terribly. So the girlfriend wasn't even really a girlfriend. It was just I was dating somebody, trying to. And it was like a total like. I mean, it was messing with me. It really, because to see her again, I started getting those feelings. She hugged me like she loved me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we have like a real like genuine
moment of
love for each other, for everything that we went through, for the time growing up. the crushes that we had on each other. I always look at her as the one that got away. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Like,
yeah.
I really do. And if things were different, and if maybe our... I don't know. But Jennifer Sarah. I always think of my Winnie Cooper. Like, she's married. She has, she's got kids and a great life and everything, and that's great. But it's a...
So there's some alternate universe where you are.
It's just fun to think about, like, how interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
I've done that,
there
yeah.
was that girl, And I always refer to her as my Winnie Cooper,
I mean, if anything, my Winnie Cooper Rhea, she got me into heavy metal hair band music. That's still a passion of mine today, so I'm indebted.
Yeah, any girlfriend I ever had, I always got the girl into everything.
Nice.
Because I'm just such a pop culture sponge. And certainly growing up in Wellsville, I was Chris Seaver. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody knew Chris Seaver because of how weird I was, how creative and
So if there was a trivia question that needed answering, they would go
I was
go to this kid.
I was the media kid. Comic books, cartoons, movies, making movies. That's how I would cause trouble, making movies. These parents of the friends that I had thought I was a bad influence because I was making movies.
Okay.
That's how messed up it was. Because, like, people just didn't do that. Wellsville is small. It is a hick town. And somehow, I blame my mom and my uncles, but I was this kid. I was this weirdo kid, and I loved it. I was having a blast. And I think
my dad would take me to these R-rated movies. I probably shouldn't have been. And I would bring that to school with me and, like, talk about it, and, like, it would worry some. Like, what movie did you see?
I infiltrated. I got everybody into everything. And everyone, all the friends had different paths in life, but I always stuck to what I was going to do, I became a filmmaker, and that's what I loved, and so interesting. So, I think back, it's so weird to think about it now as I was the weird kid.
Right.
And I'm thinking
of you to
everyone else is the weird kid, like, what is wrong with these, it was so bizarre.
Like, I was the kid that was obsessed with the Amadeus movie in third grade. Like, I had the soundtrack, I would bring it in, and, like, we should play this, it's art, and everybody's like, I don't want to listen to this, what are you doing? And I'm, like, mimicking the conductor.
Yeah. And like, I was, like, in the 90s, in the early 90s, probably 94 or 95, I was the kid who was like, I'm starting a ska band in Wellsville, New York, this hick town. Nobody knew what the heck this music was.
Ska? What?
But I had this tiny group of friends who loved this stuff,
Yeah.
And I had an uncle who was in a ska band in the 80's. Like, this, it was just like, who is this kid? What is
you
this?
like horror movies and ska?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the horror things, definitely, like, later on, like when I get to 12, 13, 14, parents, teachers just thought I was, like, the Antichrist because I was making these movies, blood, special effects. Like,
I was not allowed to play with certain children in the neighborhood because of that, because I would talk about Freddy.
So weird, right?
And then those kids would have nightmares.
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous. They were like, oh, you've ruined my children.
Pretty ridiculous. Yeah. But I had a great time.
Yeah.
Really, like,
if I could do it again, I would.
I've said this before to people who have had terrible school times, memories. I just didn't. There were things that I'm sure as a kid were
ups
just
and downs, ebbs and flows.
But for the most part,
I'm never gonna get a girlfriend.
I had a great, elementary school, junior high, middle school, all that stuff was great. My high school was great. My time, there were buttholes and
Yeah.
turd buckets for
I
sure.
I would like to have had more girlfriends maybe back then.
Oh,
but
that was good.
I was a nerd. In fact,
I was
to
too,
prove
but
to you.
but
Let's see if we can see that. That is me. That is big old glasses Tansky. And I didn't lose the glasses until high school when I got contacts, and that's when my confidence boosted.
oh man, I got glasses when I was 10 and have had them ever since.
I
didn't like-
realized watching an episode of Alice
Oh, there it is.
with my mom that I had a seeing problem. I kept wanting to move up, and
I tried the whole contact thing. You couldn't do it.
Wow.
Couldn't
I
do
broke
it.
my glasses so many times that I just feared letting my dad know that I had broken them. So I came up with 100 ways to hide that fact with glue and tape and you gotta
Well, I'll pull up. I'll put some up through the
little graphic,
through
little
the
hologram.
Yeah, through the magic of
of the future.
2069 technology.
Just leaps and bounds.
But yeah, crazy times.
It was good times.
Oh no.
You know what that means?
Oh,
It is now time for our snack break.
that's how convenient because I was getting really hungry.
Yes. Let's see what we got. Oh,
Okay.
I got Hostess apple pie.
Oh man.
What'd you get?
I've got the Hostess cherry pie.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
One of my favorites.
I'm not going to trade you this time.
No. I'll stick with my cherry pie.
We'll be right back after these wonderful 80s messages.
Oh, this one is sponsored by Warrant.
Ninja.
Puppy, you're my one and only puppy love.
You can show your Pound Puppy how much you love him with snuggly Pound Puppy outfits.
Inky or hooded on t-shirt. We're going biking. Snap your pop's jazzy jacket.
Pound Puppies and outfits, each sold separately.
Whoa! Now let's walk to the park. Uh-oh, thunder. Put on your dry doggy rain gear and you'll stay dry as a bone.
Hooded Hound t-shirt, Dry Doggy Rain Gear, Pup's Jazzy Jacket, and Pound Puppies all sold separately. From Tonka.
Wake up all you sleepyheads, Colgate gets you out of bed. Now there's the Colgate pump, we've got the Colgate pump. It's a neat new trick, pump it on your brush and go. They got the Colgate pump, she's got the Colgate pump. Even moms and dads agree what makes it good is MFP. Just a squirt of minty gel protects your teeth as you can tell. We've got the Colgate pump, we love the Colgate pump.
Two great tastes, maximum fluoride protection at your fingertips.
Oh wait,
Hit
this
the
one.
spot.
This one is.
Oh.
This one's vintage.
Okay. All right. You put some mustard on that.
Oh man, that is Hostess. Hostess all the way.
In the Crept from 80's gift shop, you can partake in jarred farts.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Mr. Seaver.
Yeah.
They
'Cause-
while he's in sleep stasis, they do bottle that.
'Cause
You
you're
know, I don't
getting-
know if you knew that.
You're getting the vintage.
Yeah.
You're getting that vintage.
Just a little behind the ears.
Yeah. Something that's backed up from the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I
Smells like
see.
steakums.
Oh. Steakum pills. See, they're rolling up the time capsule.
Oh yeah.
It's that time.
Guys, it's time to show off some things and give forth.
To you, for future generations, they will open this up 50 years from now and see, again, what the 80s are all about. What do we have for the time capsule today, Chris?
Well,
oh
my
God.
contribution
All right, you're
to the
not gonna
time
believe this.
capsule.
Look at this. Holy crap.
This is the Punky Brewster coloring book, one of many, but in pristine condition.
It's bagged and boarded, folks.
That's right. It is bagged and boarded. This is based of course, on the show, but they also did an animated series.
That was the thing back then, folks. We might have a lesson on that, but a lot of shows and movies were turned into cartoons.
Which is awesome.
Back in the day.
And this is from 1986, this coloring book. And it features Punky, Brandon.
What's her name?
Punky.
Thank you.
Mahoney. Brandon and her weird alien creature friend, Glomer, from the cartoon.
From the cartoon, yeah. That was not part of the actual television show,
Yeah,
though
yeah.
I would have loved to have seen one of those.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe like a dream episode.
A live-action Glomer? That would have been amazing.
Is that where Elf came from, maybe? I don't know if they
but, so,
were the same.
this is awesome.
Does it
Smells
got that?
1986. And
And
I am going to give this to the future.
wonderful. What a great choice.
I know. I was a huge fan of Punky, both live action and the cartoon.
Yes.
And I gotta admit, I still am to this day. So
it holds up?
I think it does.
Okay.
I think it does. And we might talk about that
Someday.
in a future episode.
Yes.
So I'm going to give that to the curator.
Yes. Now, what I brought, I stuck with along with the theme of school, and I brought an official Nightmare on Elm Street folder, circa '89, which was about the time when The Dream Child came out. But they use is that a part 4?
Part 4,
Yeah.
Freddy. My favorite Freddy.
You got the inside there, but I brought that to put my schoolwork in. Arithmetic, bitch! And yeah, that didn't sit well with some people, because I went to a Catholic school in that era. And
I did too, from probably, I want to say 88 to 91. I went to Catholic school.
Yeah, 89, 7th and 8th grade, St. Theodore's. Because my parents didn't want me going to the local high schools. They were known for ruffians.
Well, yeah, my family thought that I was too crazy and weird and wild for school.
Yeah.
So they switched schools, and I went to the Catholic school from 88 to 91.
Wow.
And then the Catholic school kicked me out.
Oh, for what?
And sent me to regular school.
What was the straw?
Because I was weird. Because I was a weirdo. I was making horror movies. I got everybody sort of onto the whole thing, and I would bring Fangorias, and they were just like, and I was writing more script movie stuff than I was doing anything academic.
Gotcha.
But man, they hated me there. If they hated me at this Catholic school. Nobody liked me at the Catholic school.
Aw, that's too bad.
And I was there for like 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would get in trouble a lot, but I still had a good smattering of friends.
So it was once I got
still
back
friends
to
today.
the end of middle school and on to high school, I was at regular, middle school and high school, and never had to see those people ever
It was
again.
all Catholic school from 8th to 7th to 12th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me. I was back with the normies.
Uniforms and ties and...
Well, that was one thing. Like also, like I would get in trouble for, because I would wear horror shirts under my, and I would unbutton it so that I would show off my shirts.
We had polos.
I had a alien shirt that had the rubber alien coming out of the shirt.
You wore that?
Oh yeah, I wore it. I got it in the back of a Fangoria.
Yeah.
I wore it several times to school, and I always got in trouble. Always. But I didn't care. I have that shirt to this day. It is hanging.
You do?
In 2018, it is hanging in my wife's closet.
Wow.
Yep. Because it's so cool. I never wanted to get rid of it.
You should donate it to the Time Capsule.
That's a good idea. When we
Spoiler
go
alert.
into like movies.
Yeah. Wow.
I will present it.
I don't think I have. I think the only shirts I had from that era were like the school shirt where everyone like signed their name on a piece of paper and then they put it on a shirt. I think I might still have some of those. Yeah, I keep way too much.
That was wild, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
man. That was...
Is it that time?
It is. It's time to
You know what's great though?
What's that?
We fall asleep, and then we wake up, and it's like that.
It's like it never
No
happened.
time has passed.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't feel bad, Chris.
This is true. Because then we get, you know what? We get to talk about the 80s when we wake up again.
You know what though? I think they want to know what happened to Carrie.
Oh, yeah. She's part of the show, too. Well, as you know from our Cobra Kai episode, Carrie is on assignment.
Yeah, and I told you before when I was talking about my mask obsession, Kenner's mask, that Chris and Carrie went on a secret mission
A jaunt, yes.
that involved lasers and chicken grease. So I think...
I came back.
Yeah, I think Carrie is still dealing with that whole laser chicken grease thing.
She did the classic "Go on without me," and I was like, "Are you sure?" And she was like, "Yeah, just go on without me. I'll be fine."
Yeah, but she'll be back.
Yes,
she will be back next episode, folks. But as far as Pansky and myself,
it is time to sleep.
I think it's time to sleep. But we hope you enjoyed the lesson. We hope you got that edumacation.
Good night.
Party on, dudes. Adrian.